Hello, and welcome to another edition of The Spear. I'm Lindsay Boyd.
And I'm George Damos. Your Spartan soccer ladies are the Mountain West regular season champions. The championship came after the Spartans defeated the Air Force Falcons on Sunday afternoon. Here are the highlights on Sunday's contest. Darielle Franklin got the scoring started for the Spartans in the second half with a beautiful header goal to give SJSU a 1-0 lead. After the Falcons had tied the game, Jamie Becerra gave the Spartans the lead right back with this hustle goal. Becerra capped off her incredible day with a perfect header to seal the win for SJSU late in the game. The Mountain West regular season title is the first ever for the Spartans, and they will head into next week's tournament as the #1 seed.
Women's softball is coming off a championship season. Follow Kayla Boardman as they are rewarded with their Mountain West Championship rings.
I feel very excited. You know, we've been waiting for this for a very long time now, and since we won last year and it's already, the following year, so I'm very anxious. I wonder what the ring's gonna look like. Well, it wasn't like the fairy tale ending as like we had imagined it, but once we seen the trophy being brought out to us, that's when it hit us, and that's when we came together, and that's when we all shed tears and we jumped, and that was a moment that always will stick to me. Right now, I think it's about building chemistry with each other and finding something to play for. Last year it was, since we did not have a field and we felt like our backs were towards the walls, that's what motivated us to prove people wrong.
I'm really excited. I've been excited all day. We've been together since 5 in the morning, 5 in the morning. And that's all I was thinking about. Super excited for tonight to get a ring, find out what it looks like, because we don't know what it looks like. But when we did find out that we won, we kind of all came together and realized that it was all the hard work that built up to that moment, granted the loss. I think we're all just trying to find that connection that we had last year and trying to make the most of it right now.
But it's a fact. You guys made the most of an opportunity. You guys took advantage of an opportunity that not a lot of people would. They would look at it and be like, I'm on a football field. You guys didn't care. And I think that symbolizes being an actual Spartan. It doesn't matter what you have. It's what you do with it, with that opportunity. And I think that's the most amazing thing. You guys go to a regional. You win the first postseason game in softball history here. That's amazing.
I'm not the one that played. My coaches aren't the one that played. You're the one that competed. You made no excuses. You are champions. You deserve it. Love you all.
Football insider Ernie Gonzalez is back with a preview of this week's matchup against BYU and a summary of last week's bye week.
Good afternoon, Ernie Gonzalez here with the Spear, San Jose State football beat writer. The Spartans did not have a game this week, of course, the bye week, and Brennan says, hey, we're going to use this to figure ourselves out, figure out the what's, figure out the whys. Here he is.
As a staff, take a look at what we've done so far, schematically, both sides of the ball, kind of some self-scout stuff, try and figure out what we're doing tendency-wise or anything like that, and then assess kind of where we're going personnel-wise and who today has played well, where we need more, who needs to play better, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure it's a pause in the later half of the season, but hey, spoke to Brennan. His crew, his staff, his team, they're just trying to get back on the turf.
It gives us a chance to play again. When you have a young football team, you're just anxious to play because the young players need the reps. They need the live bullets. They need to be out there playing the game of football when the game's on the line so that you can see how they're handling it, how they're growing and improving. And so for me, the most exciting part is that we had to take a week off, but now we get to play again.
Brennan confirmed Monday redshirt freshman quarterback Montel Aaron will start for the Spartans on Saturday. Says, hey, we're just looking to see how polished Aaron is.
I'm just excited for him to play, see how he handles the atmosphere. BYU is a hard place to play. Their crowd is rowdy. They're on you. So it's an opportunity to see how he handles that, what kind of poise he has, and then how he can distribute the ball.
I heard this word 3 times Monday afternoon, the word consistent. Consistency, however you want to use it, whatever you want to call it. Point is, the Spartans have 1 rushing touchdown through 8 games this year. Although they have 120 rushing yards a game, yeah, they're moving downfield, they're getting to the red zone. But once they get to the red zone, they only score points 68% of the time, which is not good at all. On top of that, Brennan said, hey, my receivers, they're doing great one week, and then they disappear the next week.
My frustration with that thing is that you have one guy have a 100-yard game one week, and then he does nothing the next week. To me, that's not good play. We need some consistency out of those guys where they show up every week.
All in all, Coach Brennan and his staff are getting ready for the game in Provo. Yeah, BYU has lost 7 straight after winning their home opener against Portland State, but point is, hey, we're embracing this challenge.
Coach Sataki and that staff there do a fabulous job. We know exactly who they are. We know how challenging it is to play in Provo. So it's another great challenge for our football team, and I'm looking forward to seeing us play.
Volleyball got the W facing off against Air Force last week. Janae Mims has the best plays.
The San Jose State volleyball team faced off against Air Force on Thursday, defeating them 3-1. The night started off slowly for the Spartans as they trailed early in the first half. The team struggled with hitting errors in the first set, hitting multiple balls out, but were able to rebound quickly and take the set 25-20. The Spartans came out hot in the second set, killing the Falcons with 13 kills and 1 error. The energy was strong from the team and the crowd, leading the Spartans to a 25-10 win. While the win was big for the team, the loss of junior outside hitter Julia Gavio in the second set shook the team. It was in the third set that the Spartans relinquished the first and only win the Air Force would see for the night. Adjusting to Gavio being out for the night led the Spartans to struggle and start off slow, while the Falcons had high energy. Defensively, the team struggled but came back towards the end. The Spartans fell short with a close 27-25 defeat, sending the teams into a fourth set. Both teams fought hard on the court, but SJSU ended the night by sending the Falcons home after fighting to win the match 25-23.
Men's soccer is coming out of the weekend, continuing their win streak. Here's Ryan Barnhart with the highlights of their victory over the University of Incarnate Word.
Following its first win in over a month, the men's soccer team traveled to Texas last Friday for a 2-game road trip. Their first matchup was at Incarnate Ward, where the Spartans looked to have their first winning streak of the season. The first 45 minutes of the game saw little action. Despite the 11 shots between the two teams in the opening half, both teams failed to hit the net with only 1 shot on goal apiece. The second half of the game saw the pace start to pick up for the Spartans. After a long pass from midfield, forward Zach Penner zipped the ball between 2 defenders to SJSU's favorite scorer, Jeremy Romero, who gave the Spartans their first goal of the game in the 59th minute. It was Romero's 7th goal on the year, leading all Spartans this season. The Cardinals had few opportunities to tie the game up. Despite outshooting the Spartans 12-9, Incarnate Ward had just 2 shots on goal to SJSU's 4. San Jose State sealed the win in the 79th minute on a header from Penner off of a free kick from Joe Kay. Penner would end the game with 1 goal to go with his assist earlier in the match. The Spartans would follow up their 2-0 victory at Incarnate Ward with another shutout win against the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, giving the team its first 3-game win streak since 2012. SJSU has just 3 games left on the season before the start of tournament play.
Keanu Hagigi is back and ready to try a new sport. See how he did in archery this week in his version of Keanu Tries.
Welcome to another segment of Keanu Tries. I'm your host, Keanu Hagigi, and today I'm at the Black Mountain Archery Range ready to shoot some arrows with the SJSU archery team. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous for this, but without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm here with the president of SJSU Archery, Christopher Plamo. All right, Christopher, I haven't shot a bow and arrow since I was about in the 4th grade in summer camp. What would be your tips and tricks for a beginner?
For each beginner archer, I tell them to just keep their eyes at the target, keep their arm extended to a target, and just keep the release nice and strong.
Okay, and I guess my final question would be, what sets apart a good archer from a great archer?
A good archer comes out of practice only because he's told to practice. A great archer comes out because he wants to practice.
All right, I think it's time to shoot some arrows.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Shots are 1 through here, and you just shoot.
Okay, for sure.
That last shot I can tell you, you moved a bit higher, which is why you move a little higher.
Okay. This shot right here, that felt amazing. I can get used to that feeling any day of the week. Like when I'm feeling down during the day, if I do something like that, day automatically lifted up. It was a pretty intense feeling. All right, so I just finished shooting my first round. This is tiring, man. My left arm is exhausted. I probably won't be able to feel it tomorrow. And the results of our competition, obviously, Christopher's worst shot would have been my best shot throughout the whole day. My question to you is, give me an evaluation and don't be nice. I mean, be real. How was it?
Hey, you haven't lost any arrows, so I say did pretty well.
All right, I really appreciate that. Thank you for having us out here. And thank you all for joining us on another episode of Keanu Tries. We hope to see you next time.
Fall is here, which means so is Spartan basketball. Mohamed Bafaki caught up with freshman forward Keith Fisher.
I'm from LA.
San Jose State redshirt freshman Keith Fisher III, who missed the entire 2016-17 season due to an ACL tear, grew up in a very tough part of Los Angeles, known as South Central.
You grew up off of Broadway in 66.
Yeah.
So this is right. This is a map of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
So I noticed was a lot of liquor stores in the area.
Yeah.
Coin Laundry, down towards Slauson. There's a homeless outreach center.
Yeah.
What do you think of when you think of the setting when it comes down to where you grew up?
First thing is the hood. I mean, obviously you see it if you see it on Google Maps, and it's the hood. I mean, and another thing that I think of how much the city itself, Los Angeles, doesn't put money into this specific area to help improve it. You know, that's something else I see off the bat. Because I mean, little things you notice, like the pavement isn't as clean as it is, you know, down towards the west side, or I mean, the streets are more cracked and more, you know, messed up or anything like that. So that's the second thing I really think of. And then the third thing is home. Really, that's just it. It's home. No matter how cracked up it is, I mean, you know, it's always gonna be home, no matter what.
For Fisher, the second oldest of 6 children, it was either stay inside with his family, hanging out with his 2 close friends Malik and Tyron, or just simply playing basketball. Between March 13th and September 10th of this year, Florence, the neighborhood Fisher grew up in, ranked 10th worst for violent crimes within LA's 272 neighborhoods, according to the Los Angeles Times. Violent crimes range from homicide, rape, aggravated assault, and battery.
I mean, I feel like it was good for me. I mean, I grew up not around the right people, but my family, those are the right people. Outside of that, you know, friends, some of my old friends I can't really hang out with no more. Some of them don't really do the same things, you feel me, we used to do, you know. Some of them are in bad places. So growing up, I think it was good. It built character, made me realize a lot, you know, what to do and what not to do, you know. So I really tried to put myself around a good crowd throughout my whole life. I mean, you know.
Fisher was named Los Angeles City Section Player of the Year in 2015-16 as a senior for Westchester High School, where he averaged 19.8 points and 11.1 rebounds per game.
I mean, from when I first started playing basketball, that's the best thing I was at was defense. So I put my everything in the defense. No matter, I could go 0 for 100 shots, but at defense, they're going to know my presence. My presence is going to be there, and my team is always going to have a lift for me on defense. So that's something that is really big.
I think redshirting is a good thing. You know, God forbid someone gets hurt and they have to redshirt, and that does happen. And in Keith's case, I think that was the case. But he's healthy, and that's a good thing.
I'm really excited to play with him. You know, he's a good player on and off the court. He's a good guy on and off the court. But he definitely brings a lot of energy to the court. So I'm definitely excited to play with him.
Does size really matter? Lindsey Boyd talks to the tallest men's basketball team in the Mountain West Conference.
Height. You either have it or you don't. This season's men's basketball team has it.
One of the tallest players is Ryan Singer.
I'm 6'10".
And Omar Berry. There are definitely some struggles to being tall, like finding shoes that fit their size 17 and 16 feet respectively. It's even a chore to find clothing.
Even harder, pants and shirts and stuff to fit how long we are and tall we are and stuff.
Being tall might not be an advantage when shopping, but is it when playing basketball?
Not at all. Like, everything gotta be skilled. You gotta earn it. What you can do, you can do it. Your height will not give you anything on the basketball court.
Chastain thought otherwise.
No, I think height's an advantage. I think the bigger you are, the better chance you have of getting rebounds, and you know, it's intimidating as well to be big and whatnot.
According to head coach Gene Prelo, there's a lot more to the game of basketball than height.
Height doesn't necessarily relate or is proportional to rebounding. It's really your philosophy and your team's
One of the tallest
thought
players is Ryan
process
Singer.
and how they attack the game.
So let's take a look at how SJSU sizes up to the rest of the Mountain West Conference. SJSU has 6 players 6'7" or taller. Boise State has 7, while New Mexico has the most with 10. San Diego State has the tallest player, who is 7'1". To summarize all the teams, take a look at this chart. As you can see, SJSU's height is pretty spread out. SJSU has the shortest player, Ryan Perilla, who is 5'10". With the spear, Lindsey Boyd.
Jose Trujillo sat down with sophomore point guard Taylor Turney to discuss the upcoming season.
You got the ball in your hands most of the time, and you have to make the right passes. And if you don't win or something bad happens, it's usually on you, whether it's your fault or not. You're the main person on the court that is like a coach.
She pushes in transition really well. I think she has a great scoring ability as a point guard, and I liked her intensity and her competitiveness.
Her energy and everything, how she just puts everything she has onto the court. She's a very emotional player, and just the love she has for basketball, I think you can really tell when she steps onto the court. I think I bring like a point guard mentality, I push the ball, I have good handles, I get people open, I make the right passes, and yeah, I encourage my teammates to make them feel good about doing good things.
Just being here a year ago and having that experience playing with arguably the best point guard that's probably ever played here, I think she learned a lot from last season, and if she can apply those things to this year and also be herself, nobody expects her to be Des Ramos. I expect her to be Taylor.
I don't really feel pressure because we're two different players. Like, I believe I'm a great player, I have confidence in myself, but she plays a different way. So it's kind of like we're bringing two different things to the table. I'm confident in what I can do. One of her biggest strengths is her drive to the basket. She can create great one-on-one situations. She can attack the basketball, but if she has an open shot or open pull-up, she doesn't hesitate to take that. I just want to say it's going to be a great year. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm humbled by the opportunity to start. Like, it's a dream to be a college Division I athlete, and then it's another dream to actually start, especially as a sophomore. I'm young, so I'm ready to grow.
Let's be big sisters! Work hard on 3, 1, 2, 3! Work hard!
How well do SJSU students know Spartan basketball? Mohammed Bafaki puts their knowledge to the test in this week's Rapid Fire Questions.
No, I don't know any of them.
I currently don't know any players on the team.
No, I don't know anybody that's on the men's basketball team.
No, I don't know any of the names, but I will after, I start going to the games this semester.
I don't know.
I don't know the head coach of the basketball team.
No, I'm not aware who the head coach is.
No, I do not know who the head coach is of the basketball team.
They played here in the men's center?
Men's center, if that's right.
I'm guessing they play at a gym.
I think they were in the news. I think they were predicted to finish 10th in the conference.
If it's the same as football, it's like West something or Mountain West. I don't know.
I do not know what conference the basketball team competes in.
That's all we have for today's episode of The Spear.
Make sure to follow us on social media at The Spear, SJSU on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Have a great week.